Welcome to the Ultimate Squad Builder. This week we're shaking things up a little bit. I'm using Muthead.com's team builder on their website, mainly because it allows me to, for people that are interested in the Ultimate Team cards and things, it allows me to use the best possible versions of all these players rather than just the ones I can afford. And also, it really does a lot of calculating for you in terms of how much the team would cost, its overall, all those kinds of things I'd like to mention in the videos before, but this way it does it nice here, and it gives you a good breakdown of the teams as well, costs per position, things like that. So I think using this. It's the only way I can build some of these teams that have got a load of expensive players in, because I could never afford to actually buy all of those cards, and I just think this works out better. So this week it's the all under 25 team, and when I say under 25 for a couple of positions it means 25 and under, but the case with these players will be that they won't turn 26 until after the season is finished anyway, or until you're deep into the playoffs, so I feel like you count them anyway. But for all of those players I will always have guys that are definitely under 25 mentioned in the position anyway. And a disclaimer, of course, this one really is kind of just based on opinion. Now the case here is that most of the time the opinion is backed up by overalls on this game and stuff, but that still doesn't mean it's right. It's just opinions for the positions, and we start with the quarterbacks. And Derek Carr is, I think, the best quarterback. He's 25 years old, the best quarterback out of that 2014 class right now, the most polished, head and shoulders above the rest really, and the others are very good. Then out of that class as well, Blake Bortles after him, and finally Teddy Bridgewater. I think those three guys are the premier quarterbacks under 25. So Blake Bortles, 24 years old, Teddy Bridgewater, 23 years old, a bunch of good guys here. Obviously Paul Bridgewater out with that injury this year. Then at running back, Le'Veon Bell, 24 years old, plays like he's 28 or older, like he's been in the league forever with his patience and vision, but he's only 24 years old. Now obviously he keeps getting himself suspended, which really is just stupid, but you can't take away from how good of a player he is for that. And behind him, Todd Gurley, the offensive rookie of the year last year, only 22 years old. He's got it all out ahead of him, what a player. And then at fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, very good fullback, been around since 2013. Taken in the 4th round, pretty high for a fullback, and he's 25 years old. Then our number 1 receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best in the league, went to the Pro Bowl last year, 2nd team All-Pro, 24 years old. Then at the number 2 spot, Odell Beckham Jr., 2 Pro Bowls, 2nd team All-Pro, just like Hopkins last year, NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he's only 23 years old. And they just keep getting younger. At the number 3 spot, Amari Cooper, 22 years old, Pro Bowl last year, the Pro Football Writers Association All-Rookie Team member as well. Then we have a guy here at number 4, Tyler Lockett, and really he's here. Yes, he's an exciting young player, 23 years old, but he'll show up later on the kick return duties. That's why he's here mostly. And then we go to the tight end, and I've gone for Eric Ebron here. Maybe a slightly more interesting choice, I don't know. His career's on a constant upward trajectory. He did start slightly slow for a number 10 overall pick, but last year was good. This year's looking good already as well. He's 23 years old, got it all ahead of him, and I think he definitely will become a much better player. At left tackle, we have David Bakhtiari, a 4th round pick that's become an important part of that Green Bay line, 24 years old. At left guard, I've gone for Andrew Norwell. He's become an important part of the Panthers line, also only 24 years old. Then at center, Mitch Morse started at center for the Chiefs as a rookie last year, played 15 games, a 2nd round pick, also 24 years old. This line, pretty much all of them apparently seem to be 24 years old at this point. Now at right guard, I've got Trey Turner, also of the Panthers, but this really is because it was supposed to be Joel Petonio of the Browns. He's 24 years old, very good player, but the only problem with this Muthead team builder thing is that you have to have the right position for the position, so you can't have a left guard at right guard like that. But Trey Turner, just as good, actually the youngest player now at 23 years old. And then at right tackle, Trent Brown, only a 61 overall here on Muthead, but a guy that's had a meteoric rise over the past few weeks, months. He's got some seriously high praise from his teammates, coaches. He's 6'8", 355 pounds. 23 years old. This is a guy to keep an eye on in the future, but he's already a guy to keep an eye on now as well. So that's the offensive under 25s finished here, and the whole thing, if you're playing on the Xbox One, will cost you 888,000 coins, and that's an 80 overall offense. So let's move on to the defense. So at right end is Leonard Williams, only 22 years old, obviously was a rookie last year, the 6th overall pick, NFL All-Rookie team, and he's had an incredible start to the year. Through 2 games, he's got 2.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Through the entirety of last season, he had 3 sacks and no forced fumbles. He's absolutely on pace to smash his rookie year, an extremely good player on an extremely good defensive line for the Jets. And we're kind of mixing 3-4 and 4-3 in this one, although we will be going with a technical 3-4. DeMarcus Lawrence at left end of the Cowboys. Of the suspended Cowboys pass rushers, he's the better behaved of the two. He's only got a 4-game ban, so he'll be back pretty soon. 78 overall here on this game. A good young player, had 8 sacks last year, and he's 24 years old. Then a defensive tackle, Eddie Goldman of the Bears. He's 22 years old, and unfortunately this Monday night went down with an injury. I'm not entirely sure how bad that is yet. That'll be a huge loss for however many games he's out for a Bears. Rising star on that team, very good player. Classic nose tackle, 6'4", 320 pounds. He was an NFL first team all-rookie last year, 4.5 sacks. Let's just hope he gets back on the field soon. At left outside linebacker, we have Anthony Barr, possibly the best young 4-3 outside linebacker in the NFL right now. 24 years old. He went to the Pro Bowl last year, was named All-Pro by Pro Football Focus, and he was also named to their All-Rookie team the year before that. Very, very good player, and I think often underappreciated and maybe even underrated. So then we have the inside linebackers and CJ Mosley. Maybe had a better rookie year than he did in his second year, but to be fair, there were a lot of injuries that happened on that defense in his second year. As a rookie, he went to the Pro Bowl, second team All-Pro, Pro Football Writers Association All-AFC, All-Rookie team, Pro Football Focus's All-Rookie team, AFC North Rookie of the Year. He pretty much just collected it all in that first year, an extremely good inside linebacker. And we're pairing him with Jordan Hicks of the Eagles. Jordan Hicks maybe a slightly out there selection, mainly only because he only played 8 games as a rookie last year, but in those 8 games and 5 starts, he had 50 tackles, 1 sack, 2 interceptions, one of those for a touchdown and a forced fumble. Now you times that by 2 for a 16-game season, and he's had one of the best inside linebacker seasons for a long time. Obviously that's not how it works, but still very, very good production through those 8 games. Jordan Hicks deserves to be here, and like CJ Mosley, he's only 24 years old. Then at right outside linebacker, we have another guy that was a rookie last year, Preston Smith, 23 years old. In his rookie season, he played 16 games, 2 starts, but 8 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 4 pass defense. Very, very solid production for a rookie. His 8 sacks actually led all rookies in the NFL for the 2015 season, and he got a safety on Aaron Rodgers in the wildcard playoff loss. I also want to mention Aaron Lynch, a guy who is suspended again. Too many of these young guys suspended. I say too many. 3. DeMarcus Lawrence, Le'Veon Bell, and Aaron Lynch. That is too many. But Aaron Lynch, through his first 2 seasons, 12.5 sacks. And he's only 23 years old as well. Onto the cornerbacks, and I've gone with Marcus Peters as the number 1 guy, and I know some people think Ronald Darby was better last year, but I don't. And Marcus Peters in 1 season already has quite the impressive resume. He's been to the Pro Bowl, second team All-Pro, NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, NFL Interceptions co-leader, 2 defensive touchdowns, one of those a 90-yard return, a forced fumble, and he's already started his second season pretty strongly, 2 interceptions already in 2 games, and he's 23 years old. Then we have Ronald Darby, 22 years old, so 1 year younger than Marcus Peters, but like literally an entire year younger. Ronald Darby was born on January 2nd, 1994. Marcus Peters born on January 9th, 1993. So Ronald Darby a full year younger than him, but right there with him, he was actually Pro Football Focus's Defensive Rookie of the Year. So what a surprise that I disagree with them. Pro Football Writers Association's All-Rookie team, and a very solid season with 21 passes defense, 2 interceptions, 68 tackles, which is a very high number for a cornerback. Now that whole Bills defense has been struggling this year so far, but I see that as a team issue, not a Ronald Darby issue. The guy's good. Then we have a 25-year-old in Jason Verrett, and he's already shown up big this season. Not so much in the stats, only 2 passes defense, 1 interception, but he's been shutting guys down. had an extremely good game against the Jaguars in week 2. He went to the Pro Bowl last year. He has had health issues in the past, but if he plays 16 games this season, he'll definitely be up there in the top tier of cornerbacks. Well, he is already, but I think he'll be considered like that by everyone by that point. And then the fourth guy, Darius Slay, a guy having to fight for his recognition. 25 years old as well. A very good cornerback, but he's never been selected to the Pro Bowl. No honors in any way like that. And not that it's justified, but maybe it's because he doesn't show up in the stat column so well. 4 interceptions, 2 for each of the last 2 seasons. Played well so far this season. Darius Slay, very good cornerback, 25 years old. I'm sure we'll see more of him in the future, and hopefully he'll get a Pro Bowl spot sooner rather than later. At free safety, and I could have put this guy at the cornerback position, free safety, strong safety, you can put him anywhere and he'd be the best player in that position at his age. 24 years old, went to the Pro Bowl last year, 2 times first team All-Pro, made the Pro Football Writers Association All-Rookie team in 2013. I don't think I need to bring up stats to illustrate how good Tyrann Mathieu is, I think most people know, but last year in 14 games, 89 tackles, 17 passes defensed, 5 interceptions, a touchdown, and 1 forced fumble. That's just ridiculous, and he plays all over the field. If Tyrann Mathieu would be down as any other position, the free safety I'd have instead of him would be Clinton Dix, who's also very good for his young age. But at strong safety, we have Calvin Pryor, and I feel like he maybe flies under the radar a little bit. Only 24 years old. He was the 18th overall pick 2 years ago. In his rookie season, made the Pro Football Focus All-Rookie team, and in 13 games last season, he had 69 tackles, 2 interceptions, and a forced fumble. Now, the defense on Xbox One will apparently only cost you 347,000 coins. I think the issue there is that some of these cards don't have actual values right now, as in Muthead can't figure them out because not enough have been sold. But obviously, if you look at the players, pretty expensive looking team right there. Also an extremely good team there, 82 overall on these guys, all of them under 25 years old. That's the crazy thing, right? I keep saying things like, and he's only 23 or he's only 24, and in relevance to everyone being under 25, that's not that crazy, but in relevance to the entire league, being 24 and so good is just absolutely crazy. At kicker, we have Cairo Santos from Brazil, 24 years old, and he holds a bunch of Kansas City Chief records: most points by a rookie player, most field goals made by a rookie kicker, team record for most field goals in a game, tied second place for NFL history for most field goals in a single game, an 83.6% field goal percentage in his career. And then we go for the punter here. Now, obviously not going to be many records for the guy here, Matt Dar, 24 years old as well, undrafted in 2015. Last year did make the Pro Football Writers Association All-Rookie team. He had an average of 47.6 yards per punt, which isn't bad. That's pretty much all you can say for the guy. Here's where Tyler Lockett comes into his element. Now I can mention that he made the Pro Bowl in 2015, was a first team All-Pro, Pro Football Writers Association NFL All-Rookie team, and those all obviously were as a special teams player rather than the receiver. That's why I waited until now to mention it. 852 kick return yards last season, 25 yards average, 105-yard touchdown for that 1 touchdown. And he was pretty much just as good punt returning, 379 yards, 9.5 yard average, a long of 66, 1 touchdown, one of the most exciting young return specialists in the league, and he's only 23 years old. Now, of course, there aren't any head coaches under 25 in the league. However, being under 40 is pretty much the equivalent for that. Adam Gase, the youngest head coach in the NFL, 38 years old. But of course, we are not done there. We show the love to the long snappers who deserve it here on the Beardmohbox YouTube channel. Now, of course, Rob Gronkowski is not the best long snapper under 25 in the NFL. 1, because he's not a long snapper, 2, because he's not under 25. But the problem is, although I would like to show my appreciation for long snappers, Madden doesn't feel the same way. So, Joe Cardona, the long snapper of the New England Patriots, who I would have selected here, isn't available on Ultimate Team, so I've just chosen his teammate here, Rob Gronkowski, as the highest rated thing that I could put in there from his team. And now Joe Cardona was a pretty easy selection. There's only 2 long snappers in the league under 25 years old, and Joe Cardona's the only one of those that has played for 2 years. 24 years old, played in all 16 games for the Patriots last season. So that is the all under 25 team, with a cost of at least 1.63 million. I would actually guess probably with all of these cards, the Friday night draft specials, things like that, you're probably looking at about 2.5 million maybe, I don't know. You can forget about using it in a salary cap mode, but it's a pretty nice team, all under 25 team, some very, very promising players there for the future of the NFL. Plenty of reasons to be excited about what's to come.